Okay, good afternoon, everybody. So, hope you are doing good. Still, we have to stay in the lockdown condition because, as you know, that our Prime Minister already announced that up to 3rd of May, we have to still in the home. Okay, and whatever the activities we have to follow because this is the reality. When something is happening, but still you have to take care of your regular routine, and that is one of the initiative to just following the Zoom class through the internet learning. Okay, so in the last class I already discussed the series and parallel piping for the liquid flow. Okay, so I just will go through the gist of the topic that I discussed in the last class within just 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, so what we discussed, we first discuss that total pressure required for the transportation of the liquid through pipeline. We also discussed what are the depending factors, and if we need to measure the total pressure, okay, so that is actually the friction head, elevation head, and delivery pressure at the terminus. Okay, and we also see that if we will not consider a elevation profile, then for a particular simple calculation, if we add just uh, friction head, elevation head, as well as delivery pressure at the terminus, we will get a value. But incidentally, if we just design in such a way with the elevation point or elevation profile, we can get also the same value. But in sometimes we cannot get the same value also. So I design one numerical, I design one numerical problem that if we go through the calculation of only, if we go through the calculation for only the, okay, just wait, okay, calculation, then we will see that when you are considering the peak, even we can get the same value. Okay, so maybe if I will design in such a way that sometimes it is maybe the elevation is 1600, maybe it's 1200, but based on this elevation profile, you have to design the other parameters so that we can get the same value. Okay, but in Sasimenan book, they design in such a way, incidentally, they got the same result for both cases. Then we discuss the hydraulic pressure gradient. I discussed what is the hydraulic pressure gradient, and in case of liquid flow through pipeline, how we represent the hydraulic pressure gradient. Even after doing this type of simplification, we got that the discharge pressure equal to total pressure plus suction pressure by 2. Okay, and based on this calculation, as I said, that I designed one numerical. Okay, that is the numerical that that if we have a and B point and a diesel fuel is flowing through the pipeline, then how can you calculate the maximum flowing rate that can be increased based on the provided MAOP? So this was the homework. I think you already tried. Okay, so we'll discuss. If you cannot get the result, we'll discuss. Then we saw that what is series piping, okay, and what is the importance of series piping, and we also calculate in case of series piping what is the equivalent length, okay, because we can remember that equation that total pressure loss equals to 6.2475 into 10 to the 10 FL U square into SG by DI to the 5. So once you will simplify all this equation and you will get finally LE equal to LA plus LB into dA by d to the and dB to the power 5. We already discussed this in details in the last class. And also we gave that when there's a different flow rates, then how we can calculate the total head loss. Okay, and we have also some of the parameters at the end. So that is actually sudden expansion and sudden contraction. So we can design in such a way some numerical that there's some sudden expansion, sudden contraction, and equivalent, and all are associated here. So based on these things, we finish the series piping and then parallel piping. In parallel piping, we already discussed that there are two terms: conservation of total flow, common pressure loss across each parallel piping. These are the two phenomena. These are 2 points that are the assumption. Okay, and we finally reach to an equation that for the individual flow, okay, individual piping flow, we can get like Suppose as you saw in the figure that maybe this is the QVC and QBD. So you can calculate QVC and as well as QBD, okay, based on this equation. And when you saw that there's a 3 piping in the parallel position and they have different head loss, so we can also get the head loss plus one term which indicate the fittings, okay, the fittings or in the case of reducer or in the case of fitting. And from here we can do one numerical that I already gave you. I think you have tried to solve this numerical, and if you couldn't do, then we can discuss today after end of the class. Another numerical that is available in Sasimenon book. So if you see this numerical, this is totally based on the discussion given in the Sasimenon book, and this is very easy numerical. But make sure that you have tried this numerical at home, because this is homework and you have to practice this type of numerical, because these are very important things in case of series and parallel piping. And I also discussed the transportation of the high vapor pressure liquid. So in case of high vapor pressure liquid, we should keep in our mind that when you are designing the pressure inside the pipeline, that should be more than the vapor pressure. Okay, otherwise maybe there's some crack or maybe bursting may happen. And we also discussed the pumping power required in the pipeline. As you know that horsepower. Okay, so we have discussed the horsepower calculation, and if there are certain amount of crude oil or maybe natural gas, then if you need to lift this natural gas or crude oil up to a certain height, then how much power you need, okay, to just lift that amount of crude oil. That type of calculation we also discuss. Then we discuss the brake horsepower. Okay, so brake horsepower equals the hydraulic horsepower by pump efficiency, and also we got the motor horsepower and power. After that, we discuss the system head curve. As I said, the system head curve is very important. That will give you the idea of the pressure versus flow rate. So in case of, if you have different types of product, okay, with a different viscosities or specific gravity, then you have a different types of head curve. So if I give an example, or if I give a question that we have two liquids, one is high specific gravity, one is low specific gravity, as well as the elevation and delivery pressure, friction pressure as given. So draw the symmetrics of the system head curve for that system. So then you have to do a simple little bit calculation, and you have to draw a proper symmetric, not to scale head curve, which will indicate that all the values are involved in that numerical, in that problem. Okay. And we discussed that if there is any type of injection, if there is any type of injection and delivery in a pipeline, then how we can deal with that. Okay, it's an intermediate delivery or injection. If there's an intermediate injection, then your flow velocity will be increased. It will be sum up. If there's a delivery, okay, I mean just taking some fluid, then there will be reduction. And we discussed the pipe loops. What is the importance of the pipe loops? Okay, if there's a high pressure in the piping system, we can reduce this vapor pressure just taking the pipe loops. Okay, so that is the importance of the pipe loops, and we also saw one numerical in that case. And I also gave this numerical to solve in home. I think you have already tried, and even you can get the answer from the Sasimenon book. So we discussed up to that in the last class. Now today we'll cover the gas. Okay, in case of total pressure required for transportation of gas. We already discussed before our mid-semester class that the total pressure drop can be calculated using the general flow equation. I think you can remember this type of equation, again USCS and SI units, and the bothering term at the on the constant given in the beginning of the equation. So here, if we see that how we can calculate the total pressure drop or in the inlet pressure that is required to transport the fluid through the pipeline. Okay, so from this equation, if we know the F, okay, friction factor or transmission factor, TB and PB, and P1, P2, and G, TF, L, and J, then we can calculate Q. Or if Q is given and also other parameters are given, not only P1, then P1 can be calculated. Okay, So main thing is that once again, if I just go to the same slide that we already discussed, so here there's a one term is coming for the elevation, yes, and equivalent length is taken. So that thing we already discussed. So you can check again that same slide. So so in this way you can calculate the total pressure required for a piping system to get the liquid from the inlet to outlet. Okay. So what are the influencing factor actually? The influencing factor is the elevation difference H2 minus H1 as well as the adjustment parameter S. Okay. So if we design one numerical based on this equation, then definitely as I told you that most of the parameters will be given, but you have to sometimes do the unit change. Okay. And using this equation, you can easily calculate the inlet pressure, okay, that is required to transport the certain amount of fluid from inlet to outlet. Okay. And definitely the ES and LE that will be given or maybe based on this equation, you have to calculate. And we also discussed this Weymouth equation, that is they are using E, elevation factor, not using F. Okay. So all these things we already discussed in our previous class or also before mid semester. Now, another important thing in this case, hydraulic pressure gradient in gas pipeline. Okay, so we already discussed the hydraulic pressure gradient in the liquid pipeline, but what happened here? Here compressibility factor is coming. Okay, because unlike liquid, due to gas compressibility and nonlinear variation of gas pressure along the pipeline, the hydraulic pressure gradient in the gas pipeline is curved one. So if we see that from point A to B, you need to transport some gas, okay? And we know that along the distance, okay, when the fluid is transported, then after a certain time, then your friction factor or the friction factor head loss will be high. So here, as this is a linear relationship, then your flow rate will be decreased in a curved way. But if there is no intermediate injection and intermediate delivery, if there is any intermediate injection and delivery, then the curve will be looks like that. So once you get here, maybe you are just delivering some of the liquid, some of the fluid, maybe gas from here. Then there's a sudden a break, okay? Because here you have to again boost the pressure to transport that liquid, that gas to the next station, the next pump station, or maybe compressor station. So that's why there's a sudden break. Okay, if there's a many intermediate delivery, many intermediate injection. Now, from this diagram, we can just get an example. Suppose you need to transport the gas from the A point to B, and maybe they're saying that A is the Compton and Sheridan, C point, and B is the Beaumont. Okay, all are these places in the California. Okay, so from A to B through C, you wanna transport the gas to the pipeline. Now you are thinking at the inlet pressure 1600, but your MAOP, maximum allowable operating pressure, doesn't support 1600 psi. So you have to reduce the pressure. Okay, so suppose your MAOP may be 1400. So you reduce the pressure up to 1350. Once you reach Sheridan, then your pressure reduced to 900 psi. So what you have to do, your delivery pressure is here 800 psi, but up to that distance from C to D, I mean Sheridan to Beaumont, that pressure cannot work to transport that liquid to delivery point. Then what you have to do, you have to again boost the pressure and you have to again increase the pressure. Okay, you have to increase the pressure in such a way that pressure is enough to deliver that amount of gas in the delivery point. So here, if you once again boost the pressure to 900 to 1500 psi, then you can easily deliver this gas at the delivery point. So this is actually the fundamental concept, that when you have different intermediate delivery injection, and what type of hydraulic pressure gradient you will get. Okay, so that is the concept of the hydraulic pressure gradient in gas pipeline. So you can understand the difference between liquid and gas. So we can just think about this type of problem, that you have a liquid and you have a gas, and there are some parameters are given or some data given, then maybe design the hydraulic pressure gradient for both liquid and gas. Okay, so based on these things, you have to draw a symmetric. Very symmetric is not to the scale, but your idea should be clear, because suppose here you need to reduce the curve. I mean, there's a bend, but you are just making a upper head, okay, like a hump. So that will be totally negative, totally wrong. So you will get obviously 0 marks there. Okay, so you should take care of these things, okay, in your final semester. After that, again we have the series piping in gas pipeline. So we already discussed the piping system in the liquid pipeline, but here in the series piping in the gas pipeline, if we see that suppose we have this diagram, A to B, B to C, and C to D, and A pipeline is the NPS 16, then NPS 14, and NPS 12. So definitely you need sometimes reducer to connect this piping system. And we already discussed the equivalent length equals to L1 plus LE2 plus LE3, and you get the final equation like this. But here the idea is that suppose you have 100 mm SCFD flow rate here, and you are taking 20 mm FCSD flow rate. So how much flow rate will be here? Definitely 100 minus 20 is 80 mm FCFD. And again in the C pipeline, again you are taking 30. So what happened? Again 80 minus 30, 50 mm CFD. Why I'm talking this thing? Because this is simple case. But based on this diagram, if we need to calculate the pressure drop, then remember this equation, Panhandle equation A, or maybe general gas flow equation, where U is given and other parameters are given. You have to calculate P1 first here. Okay, and now considering A and B pipeline, you calculate P1 and you know the P2. Now you have to calculate the pressure P3. I mean at the point C, you know the B point, you know that, and again you have to calculate at the point D. I think I discussed this type of problem before mid-semester. Maybe you can remember this thing. So that is the importance of series piping in gas pipeline. So we can do this type of numerical. And this equation, what I can suggest you, just from the beginning, you should take the first equation for the gas pipeline, and then whatever the equivalent pipeline like L equal to L1, L2, or maybe the same. And based on this thing, you try to derive the final equation. So I can give this type of problem that, okay, proof L equal to L1 plus L2 into D1 by D2 to the 5 plus L3 into D1 by D3 to the 5, where all the terms bring the usual meaning. So what you have to do, you have to just draw a pipeline, L1, L2, L3, D1, D2, all these things, and then just from the starting assumption or whatever the starting statement, you have to deduce this equation. Okay, so here this equation, in case of liquid pipeline, we already discussed how to get this equation. So this is a homework to draw to deduce whole equation. Okay, so that is very important for the series piping in gas pipeline. So if you have any questions on this, I will get back to you after finishing the lecture and we'll discuss. Okay, hope you understand the equation, how we are getting this final equation. Okay, now parallel piping in gas pipeline. As we already discussed that parallel piping in liquid pipeline. So here, based on this diagram, okay, if we say that there's a flow A to B and B to B, C, and E, and again B, D, and E, and again E and F direction. Okay, so if we see the actual equation, then we can write that EB square minus PE square equal to K1 L1 Q1 square by T1 to the power 5. Okay, based on the equation that we already read in our chapter 8. Okay, and okay, I am getting back. Okay, just wait, just another one slide, then we'll discuss. And similarly, the pressure drop due to the friction in the branch BDE calculated from this equation. After doing this, then we can just equate this and this. Okay, so from equation this and from equation this you can equate, and as k1 and k2 are same, so you will get L1 q1 square by d1 to the 5 equal to L2 q2 square by d2 to the 5. Now you can easily get q1 by q2 equal to L2 by L1 to the power 0.5 and d1 by d2 to the 2.5. And again, if we take the equivalent parameter, so PV square minus PE square equal to KE LE Q square d to the 5 and equal to Q1 plus Q2. Okay. So from where we can write that this, I mean, for pipeline 1, pipeline 2, and equivalent pipeline all are same. And if you will simplify, you will get this equation where constant equal to root over d1 by d2 to the 5 L2 by L1. Now there's a really big step jump after this equation. So I just need to see from your side that how we are getting this equation. Next time you can do this in your sketch, and you can send me WhatsApp message or something, or maybe you can put in the Google Classroom. Okay, I have already did this equation, I mean full derivation, but I need to see from your side how we are getting the equivalent diameter equals to d1 into 1 plus constant 1 by constant 1 square to the power 1 by 5. Okay, and from here the individual flow rate can be calculated, q1 and q2. Okay, and once we can get the q1 and q2 values, then we can get also total q. So based on this numerical, this derivation, I just prepare one problem. Like a gas pipeline contains two parallel pipings of NPS 20 and NPS 60 with wall thickness 0.5 inch and 0.25 inch. The length of NPS 20 and NPS 16 pipings are 5,000 feet and 4,000 feet. The total gas flow rate of the pipeline is 3,000 mm SCFD. Calculate the equivalent diameter of pipe and individual flow rates to the both piping. Okay, so if you use this equation, that you can easily calculate these things, but you have to keep in your mind that NPS 20 is given and 16 is given. So this is the wall thickness, so what will be the inside diameter? And then you just use this simple values here, you can get the actual value. Okay, so okay, so we now yes, I mean now we can ask questions and then we can discuss.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, as we discussed in for
Parag?
series and
Yes, yes, your name.
yes, sir.
Parag, yes, yes. Huh?
Yes, sir. In we all discussed in series and parallel pipe system in liquid and gas, but
Yeah, liquid and gas.
I'm not clear. Like there is a constant called K. So you told that it is a constant, but how to derive that constant? Like from where it is coming?
This K?
K, yes, sir. In liquid system and gas system as well. You just mentioned that it is a constant and it depends on fluid properties, but
Yeah, I
how
mean,
it is
this
different for
constant. You see, if you see the, okay, I'm showing this equation, main equation of what you are doing always. Good question. You see, Parag, this is the equation. Okay. Yes. Yeah, this is the equation. Okay. Parag, hello, hello. Yeah, can you listen me?
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, yeah. Hello, guys. Can you listen me?
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Yes,
Hello,
as
hello.
Parag asked that how K constant is coming. Okay, here we are taking this. This is the main equation where Sg is given. Okay, Sg that is the liquid properties related to liquid properties, or sometimes friction factor. So these are the combined in the K actually. Okay, or if you say that okay, we can calculate, we can also use the friction factor. And last time Paul has also raised the question that why we are not taking the friction factor, all these things. But in this case, when you are talking about the equivalent length, then definitely the equivalent length, whatever the friction factor of, it should be the same like the other piping system. So that is the thing, that K is related to the liquid property. Okay. And we are dealing with the single liquid that is divided into pipe 1, pipe 2, pipe 3. So that's why K1, K2, K3 are almost same.
Hello, hello,
Hello?
hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello,
Yes. Continue. I can listen to you.
sir. I have asked you questions in a chat. Can you go through that?
Which slide?
No, sir. In chat.
In chat.
Relation
Okay.
between
Okay. Good afternoon. What is the relation between K1, K2? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you see K1, K2, as this is related to the fluid properties, so K1 equal to K2, as well as K1 equal to Ke, as well as K2 equal to Ke. So that's why K1, K2, Ke are vanishing. So I just suggest you just read page number 201 and 202. So there is clearly mentioned that your K constant will be same for pipeline 1, pipeline 2, and equivalent length, equivalent pipeline.
And sir, what will be the value of K?
What?
What will be the value of K? In constant, what are the terms?
Values of constant, I mean, it depends on the liquid. So maybe it's not derived, but in some of the liquids, maybe it's diesel, petrol, or maybe like other gasoline. So based on the density fluid, all these things, maybe you can get the K1 or K2 value. I don't have this value right now. Maybe I will try to find any value. If I will get, I will post in the Google Classroom. Okay.
And sir, can you move this slide? Means, can you go ahead?
Okay.
I have one
Just
doubt.
which slide? Okay, just tell me. This one?
Number I don't know.
Okay, this one?
No, sir.
Okay.
Maybe
Maybe this one. Or maybe this one?
in a gas pipeline. In gas pipeline.
Yeah, gas pipeline. Is it?
Ahead.
Yes. Parallel piping in gas pipeline.
Yeah, next slide, please.
No, this one I think.
Sir, that equation LE is equal to L1 plus LE2 plus LE3. That one. How that equation came? How to deduce that?
This one, LE, this one. Or you are talking about which one? This one, PV square minus P square equal to K E LE U square by D to the power 5.
No, sir, I understand that, but you said us that we have to deduce that equation.
Oh,
L equal to L1 plus LE2 plus LE3.
Okay,
LE2 is
okay, guys. I think that's why I told you. Okay, yeah, you have to just use your brain now. Okay. So I can give one hint. Okay, you see.
How this
You see, there's a PM. I mean the pressure drop in one pipeline. Okay. So once you are taking the equivalent, so P equal to P1 plus P2. Once you will do these things, then if you will do the simplification, you will get like L equal to L1 plus L2. Okay, in case of series. Okay, and as this E2, okay, E2 is given. How this E2 you are getting? Go to the liquid pipeline, you will get like this type of form. When you have LA and LB, what you are getting? L equal to LA plus LB into DB by DA to the power 5. Now you just change A and B 1 and 2. So L equal to L1 plus L2 into D2 by D1 to the power 5. Okay. So try this one. Okay, I need to see. Okay, you can do or not. Then I will give the final answer later. Okay, but try, because we already finished most of the derivation in the pipeline. So you know the gas flow equation, you know the different gas flow equation, you know the series piping, parallel piping. Now you have to play with all equations. Okay, so I am expecting one derivation, okay, from that equation and how we are getting this equation. Because in Shashi Menon book, they didn't do this derivation. Okay, Suraj?
And what is this E2 means? E2.
Hmm?
What is this E2 means? E2.
This one? This is the
Yeah,
LE2. Okay, LE2 is the equivalent length of the section 2. Equivalent length of the section 3. Okay. Equivalent length of the, if you take another equivalent length of section 4, like that, another 5.
Okay, sir.
So you just try according to the the liquid pipeline, then you can get this. Okay, try this one.
Okay,
And
thank you.
who was asking question? Another one? Yes. Yes, Parag. Hello. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Parag, yeah.
Sir, we discussed in the liquid pipelines that there is a sudden expansion and sudden contraction. So, is it should we have to consider if we are dealing with the hot fluids, then there will be some expansion after some times. So, do we have to consider that expansion also, or just the mechanical fitting
Oh,
that
no,
is
no. I
done?
mean, you are talking about the sudden expansion, sudden contraction.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
sir.
no, Parag. Sudden expansion, sudden contraction in the pipeline diameter. Suppose you have a 16-inch pipeline, okay? So diameter is 16 inch, like outer diameter, okay? And you are connecting the 16-inch diameter with a 12-inch diameter. So what happened? Suppose fluid flowing from the beginning, and suddenly this fluid going from the 16 to 12. So that is the sudden expansion contraction. And if it is coming from 12 to 16, sudden expansion. So it's not like hot or liquid fluid. This is based on the diameter. Okay. Hello.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. But as you said that hot fluid something that also depends on the vapor pressure. Okay. If it is like your fluid is like hot something, then it has a different type of viscosity, density, everything. So maybe there will be some changes happening in the vapor pressure on that time.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Guys, have you tried this problem? I mean, because this is very important problem that I gave in the last class. Let me show this problem. Yeah, this one. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, have you tried this problem, this one? Here, you see, just I am giving some hints, okay? It's given that Q value is 2 FCF, CFS. So Q equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3, okay? So from where, if you know any of the two, then you can easily find the Q1,
Third
Q2,
one.
Q3. Okay. So what you have to do actually from here, first you have to calculate V1 in all cases. Because if you see this equation, this V1, okay? You need the V1 because you have to calculate H1. So try to
Sir, your
calculate
voice is
first
not
V1.
clear.
After getting the V1, then there's the equation that F1 Q1 square, and also you get the V1 from there. So from that equation, you have to calculate first Q2 and Q3. So once you will get Q2, Q3, then you can get from this Q equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. So you can get the Q1 value. Okay. Once you get Q1, Q2, Q3, then you have to calculate also the Reynolds number. So based on the Reynolds number and effective roughness, you can get the F value from the Moody diagram. Once you get the F value, then you can use the main equation where HL is given. Okay. From that equation, you can calculate also the required value, HL for pipeline 1, HL for pipeline 2, HL for pipeline 3. Okay, so try this one.
And sir, we discussed the system head curves, right?
Which system?
System head curves for liquid pipelines.
Yeah, system head.
So, sir, how to obtain the data? Like, is it experimental? Like, first we have to flow diesel for certain time and have to obtain data, and then through the same pipeline we have to flow other liquid and then compare.
You see, the concept is
So,
that okay, your pressure, your flow rate is increasing, your pressure is also increasing. Okay,
mm,
it's a common curve. Okay, simple.
mhm,
Now, if you have different type of viscosity, as just try to remember the equation, their viscosity value is given. So if your viscosity or density or specific gravity is high, then definitely
mhm.
get a different value. So diesel has higher specific gravity than gasoline, so it is at the top. If you have a different again specific gravity value, then you will get a different. Now here, how we can express this thing, because we said that total pressure is the summation of elevation, delivery, and friction. Okay,
Mm.
so definitely if your friction pressure is also zero, but there is the elevation and delivery, so your graph will start from a certain point. It's not from the zero. If it is zero, that means maybe there's some flow rate, but there's no pressure. So here elevation
Okay,
and
sir.
suppose I am giving the elevation is 5, delivery pressure is 10, and friction pressure is 50. Okay. So how can you draw this? So definitely as your friction pressure is high, so that part should be more than that, because this is 10 plus 5, 15, and this is 50. It's not like that you are showing that 15 here and even the friction is less than that. Then your concept is totally
Okay,
zero,
sir.
totally wrong.
Got it, sir. Got it.
Okay. Yes, any other question? Guys, I am not getting the,
No, sir.
Sir,
I gave you some assignment.
sir, I have one question.
Suraj, yes.
Sir, for the proper flow rate, for the proper flow of the liquids,
Mhm.
do we have larger friction pressure and smaller elevation and delivery pressure?
No, is different. I mean, suppose if you have a elevation and delivery pressure is low and friction pressure is high, then this is the actually symmetric of the curve. But maybe it's different. Okay, sometimes your friction pressure is low, but elevation is high and delivery is also high, and their summation is higher than friction. Then what type of curve you get? So that is the symmetrically showing what type of curve you get. This is nothing other that based on the value given. Okay, sometimes definitely pressure may be low. Okay, or sometimes the elevation is high. So on that time, what type of graph you will get? So that is indicating in this graph.
Okay, sir.
And sir, we have submitted our assignment number 2, but can you send us the list that I have received?
Guys, that I told you that in Sasiman book I gave actually this assignment, because in
No,
case
no,
of
sir. Sir,
very simple
I am
chapter.
telling that we have already submitted the assignment, but how can we confirm that it has reached? Like, can you send us one list that this number of
Okay. I
roll
think
numbers
I
have?
should send. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yeah,
yeah. I
confirmation
received some
list.
of the assignment, but I am telling because total 56 students are there, and I
Yeah,
received
sir. So
how
you.
many? Out of 56 students, I think 10, even not 10, I think, because on
So
that
that's why,
time.
sir, we have submitted, but
Yeah, I
is
received.
that
I received
assignment
some
reached
of
to
the.
you or what?
Yeah, I
That's
received
why,
some
sir.
of the things, but I didn't respond because I thought maybe I
So
would
just, sir, can you
at the
mail
time.
us that
Hmm.
this number of roll numbers have submitted? That's why, for
Okay, sure,
confirmation.
sure. No, the only thing is that some of the part you have to read. I mean, it's like self-study, okay? Because this
Yeah,
chapter
yeah,
I
sir.
already
Yeah, sir.
covered. Now the
Mm-hmm.
valve, pump, and compressor. In compressor, there's some equation. Okay, I know. But if
Yeah.
you see about the valve, there's different types of valve. What is the function? So we cannot cover all these things. But
Okay, sir.
I am thinking if someone can help me just to prepare some slide for the valve, because you have the notes, and anybody can help me. Suraj or Parag, you?
Sir, we have submitted the assignment. You can once refer it. Like I have prepared it
No, I am
from,
thinking to
means
prepare
many of
just.
us have prepared from the.
Hmm. Or Parag, what you can do, you can give one lecture on the valve. I think in the next class I will give you the host.
Sir, actually, actually we have other online classes and assignments too. That's why we are not getting
Okay, no
time.
problem. I will cover one by one. Okay, I mean maybe pump.
Okay,
I think okay. One thing, Ranjan sir already gave the lecture on pump. I mean in the process design something in that class regarding pump.
No, sir. No,
No?
sir. No, no.
Okay, because I saw that pump is also one of the topic in the that.
No, sir. Still he has not covered that part. Like that's why.
Okay, that's why I gave this assignment. At least you will go through these things. You have some idea.
No, sir. We have like we have gone through many of the sources and prepared the assignment. So like you can once go through the assignment. We have prepared well.
That thing I can discuss. And now main part is the compressor. Okay, so next class we'll see, and let's see how much we can
Okay,
cover. Any other question?
Okay, sir. No, no, sir. No,
Okay,
sir.
so today we can stop here, and
Okay, sir.
we'll see it. Okay, take care. Okay, bye bye.
Okay. Bye, sir. Bye.
Okay.